All right, kids, last week I made a video about Bad Bunny's halftime show that I actually recorded before the Super Bowl because I could predict what the backlash would be. And I know, amazing, wasn't it?
So young, so young.
Bright, brilliant, and before its time. Literally. But that episode didn't give me the opportunity to reply to some of the responses to Bonito Bowl, like this one from Representative Mark Alford out of Missouri, who admitted that he isn't fluent in Spanish and he switched back and forth between the TPUSA All-American halftime show and the Super Bowl, before stating that the lyrics from what we've seen from Bad Bunny are very disturbing, adding, "This could be much worse than the Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction." He'll be talking with Brendan Carr from the FCC, and if they need me to review footage from Nipplegate, I got him. Then there's Tennessee Representative Andy Ogles. He requested that the Energy and Commerce Committee launch a formal congressional inquiry into the National Football League and NBC, saying the performance's lyrics openly glorified sodomy and countless other unspeakable depravities. Well,
all right, I don't know how else to say this, but a lot of you are fucking gay. And that's not even a problem. You're just like closeted gay and projecting. Like you're focused on the wrong shit all the time. Like you're asking me, did I notice two guys kissing for 2 seconds when there was 87 fucking Latinas having an ass shaking competition on national television?
If you missed it, the creator I just showed included in that TikTok what looks like a text conversation between him and somebody else where they said Bad Bunny had two dudes humping up against a pickup truck with the door open. Now, at the 3-minute, 59-second mark of an almost 14-minute performance, there are two men dancing with each other for the duration of 1.4 seconds, which took place just after this array of melanin popping. So they're either looking for it or it lingered in their mind after what they saw for some reason. And now they're lurkers. Jessica Alba was there, dancing, and they're ogling the penal code? Ogles, his name is perfect for what we're going to talk about, let us know that he saw women gyrating proactively. However, that was sandwiched in between mentions of Bad Bunny grabbing his crotch while dry humping and, quote, gay sex acts. This congressman wants to make this about children, but if they're anything like mine, even they know what's going on.
Nigga, you gay. You gay. Y'all niggas are gay. Nigga, you gay. That's gay.
And that's okay. These are the types who typed, put Bad Bunny in a dress and have him do something naughty that would make me angry into an AI generator. They share these fake pictures online, masking them in some kind of anti-NFL messaging. One of these dudes describes himself as a follower of Jesus and a patriot in his bio. The other has God, Country, Family in his, featuring some other man that isn't him in his banner. So let's hold up a mirror. No need to hold hands through this. It's more guidance, maybe by the small of their backs in order to make a point. As you're about to see, anybody can find awareness and acceptance. They're just looking in the wrong places. How do we know these men aren't gay adjacent? Kind of have to be an ally. However, the LGBTQ community is inclusive. And they don't have to tolerate nonsense though. Yet that acronym is accommodating and questioning is right there, but they might have to self-reflect for that. And you can be more than one letter. Wait, can I make it up? Yeah, they're men against gayness, yet interested and curious, or magic for short. That turned out better than what I had planned before I started to record. I workshopped curious, uninitiated men. I'm not proud of myself.
I have rules for men. They're just funny. They're not that serious. Like you don't eat soup in public. You don't cross your legs. And you don't drink from a straw. And one of the reasons you don't drink from a straw is because the way your lips purse. It's very effeminate. And his excuse was, well, I was drinking a milkshake. Again, you shouldn't be drinking a milkshake. Milkshakes are for kids. Yeah.
That's Jesse Waters from Fox News, really noticing what another man does with his own hips. This is under the guise of recognizing traits and how they align with masculine and feminine behaviors, which are complex social constructs that are culturally influenced and are not biological. Jesse can say that his rules for men are funny and not that serious all he wants, but it hits different when he keeps telling the exact same joke.
Women love masculinity. And women do not love Tim Walz. So that should just tell you about how masculine Tim Walz is. Men should not move this way. It's not the way we move. Not to mention the way he carries himself physically has been, let's say, less than manly.
It's like that Key and Peele excessive celebration sketch, except it's homophobes watching, waiting to penalize everyday people and perceive politicians by in a different way than what I'm doing today. And we'll get to this later, but base policies on their own perspectives about queerness. Meanwhile, they have to be staring directly at other men's crotches in order to do so. That's weird. I heard this in the Downside podcast. If a man writes one sonnet about you, he's in love with you. But if he writes 10 sonnets about you, he loves sonnets. Well, I thought Jesse Waters loved masculinity, but he's in love with Tim Walz. A few years ago, Josh Sider seemed to love and want to expose the idea that wearing makeup and dresses and skirts and heels doesn't magically make you a woman. Well, this report shows that he didn't wear the same thing twice for like 5 months. To own the libs? Also,
it's not like when some guys just put on a dress and it doesn't fit. Like, it's fit. And the makeup's, I could not do makeup even
I love
close.
knowing this. Thank you.
And there's something about it where I just go like, man, I know something about you likes this.
You like this.
And you'll never go to therapy and you'll never know. You'll just like do this forever. And then at 20 years in, people will be like, hey, are you a trans woman? Like, this is crazy.
Hey, I think you're a trans woman.
doing it for the love of the game. I wonder if he even realized that he got more support from the left during his social experiment. I could continue to make this magic thing about which side of the aisle you're on. And I will. I mean, it is House Republicans investigating Bad Bunny's lyrics instead of further looking into the Epstein files or reducing the outrageous cost of health insurance like Tim Pool and Marjorie Taylor Greene said. But going back to identity and expression and letters, the R next to their names is for racist and they can't help themselves, but Benito is Puerto Rican and they can't have that. I'm saying the opposition party isn't preoccupied with none of this. Although with the midterms coming this year, I'm sure they're trying to make themselves as unattractive as possible. They're ensuring that nobody wants the D. Where'd your mind wander to? You're telling on yourself. A little while ago, Kev on Stage tweeted, just had a physical, black men go to the doctor, and I'm gonna skim over all the comments claiming a workout a day keeps the doctor away because we all know that if these gym bros dropped a 45-pound plate on their foot, they would go to the hospital immediately, but whatever.
Nigga got fingered and trying to tell us to go. Wow. I don't think you know what happens at a physical. Did you tweet this with a finger up your butt? Okay. Annual physical doesn't require fingers going on your butt. Somebody responded under that. You can almost hear the moans as he's typing. Nigga just put a finger in his butt, no spit. Now he don't want to be alone. Is everybody okay? Is everybody okay?
What a weird way to let us know what their innermost desires are. The sheer amount of macho men in Kev's mentions talking about thumbs in their reverse lunges is crazy. How often are they thinking about being on the receiving end of prostate exams? Doesn't that make them bottoms? A doctor says routine and they hear rectum. Kev might be right though. A lot of these men read annual as anal. He went the restorative route. He didn't troll anybody. He wants black men to take care of physical, mental, and emotional health as he should, is necessary. And yeah, there are some brothers who ain't trying to hear any of that. And boy, does it get worse when trying to convince Magics to give women a break. You get called a simp, but not those who are too attentive and submissive to other men so they can get others to play Mario Kart with them or something. They don't get this.
This nigga want bitches to feel safe. Stop all that pandering. She not gonna let you hit. She throwing ass. She obviously want me to get up on. This nigga like women being comfortable.
Grown men yearning for the male gaze. This trickles down to tweens and teens. I'm still a school administrator and I wear headbands from time to time. My male students would already ask me why I have a headband on, but don't let me wear it like this. Oh, that's the girl way. And I could argue with them about what that means, but why? Even if there were a gendered way to wear something, so they don't understand that point of view. I might have a headband on in the thumbnail of this video out of spite, and I'll probably get a comment about it. I wore a hat in last week's video and someone asked if I could explain why I had it on, and maybe these questions about headgear are from dudes wondering if it has to do with ethnicity or culture or religion or what have you, but I doubt it. I simply felt like wearing a straw hat like Benito. With that said, Magics won't allow themselves to carry themselves the way they want to in public for fear of losing respect.
First, I don't lean over it. The proper way to do it, get up, shift the whole body with your head, continue the movement. And it's pathetic.
Who is this for? It is literally an airport. You will never see these people again. Just go to your gate. Go to your gate.
Simply taking a seat. If you're not paying attention, you start looking around and drop it. And people around you not gonna take you seriously. It's so dumb. So if you're a man, stop doing that. Grab and then twist the bottle. Take it away from your body. Bring it to your body.
To answer that creator's question, the man making those tutorials is performing for other men. And real quick, I use that dude Moses' stitches instead of Mr. Don't move a muscle unless supervised by a man's TikToks for the sake of comparison. Which one of these men seem more sure about themselves around others? This whole thing isn't just about how Magics move their bodies, it's also about how women make moves. In 2016, web designer Lori Smith, along with the Christian right group Alliance Defending Freedom, challenged Colorado's public accommodation law. She claimed that one day after filing her lawsuit, a man requested she design a website for his upcoming same-sex marriage. But the man, identified in the request as Stewart, says he had been married to a woman for more than a decade at that point and had a kid, and never submitted the inquiry to Smith's company, 303 Creative. See, the Supreme Court handed her the victory, ruling that Colorado could not compel the evangelical Christian to design same-sex wedding websites if she expanded her business to offer them for opposite-sex couples. The thing about that is, in 2023, the New Republic found that up until that point, Smith had never designed any wedding website. In fact, archived versions of the website show that 6 months prior to the lawsuit being filed in 2016, her site did not include any of the Christian messaging that it did shortly afterward and that day. So she fantasized about discriminating against queer communities, and the highest court in the land made it real for her. Furthermore, in 2023, Christine Geiger, owner of Studio 8 Hair Lab in Traverse City, that state up north, posted this since-deleted message on Facebook. If a human identifies as anything other than a man/woman, please seek services at a local pet groomer. You are not welcome at this salon, period. Should you request to have a particular pronoun used, please note we may simply refer to you as hey you. This was supposed to argue the state up north's Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act and Traverse City's non-discrimination ordinance. Geiger wanted to make it about House Bill 4744. What she meant was 4474. So she never knew what she was talking about to begin with. Geiger would later say, I have no issues with LGB. It's the TQ plus that I'm not going to support. Additionally, for those that don't know, what the plus is for MAP, minor attracted person, aka a pedo. All of Christine Geiger's lawsuits were dismissed, by the way, and 3 defendants were awarded costs and fees. I hope Geiger is somewhere shivering right now about who is and isn't in the Epstein files, but she probably won't be. Hey, should I make an acronym about women whose imaginations are running wild about groups of people they don't ever interact with? You know what, never mind. Less than a year and a half later, the State Department replaced LGBT with LGB, so there's that. Going back to Super Bowl halftime shows, plural, one didn't mention anything about trans people at all. The other definitely did.
Be told if I tell my own daughter that little boys ain't little girls, I'll be up the creek in hot water. This castle yours world, it ain't easy being country in this country nowadays.
They segregated halftime shows just to fantasize about and imagine things that they didn't want to see a Puerto Rican man not mention, just to be afraid of what they brought up. And I can't believe that this bunny meme got more accurate, but here we are. If you were wondering why I believe that certain people can transform their image, their identity through expression, it's because I've seen it happen with my own eyes. You have too. Evidently, you can go from pushing moral boundaries and having become more and more sexualized to your political opinions being propped up by the evangelical Christian movement as a rock star, celebrating faith, family, and freedom.
You want me to get political? Well, this is about as deep as Kid Rock thinks. Monica Lewinsky is a fucking hoe, and Bill Clinton is a goddamn pimp.
The Olsen twins. Why is every guy in America waiting for these chicks to turn 18? I mean, you know what I say? If there's grass on the field, play ball!
He was around 30 back then. Not much has really changed. I'm not saying that Kid Rock was actually joking. He meant what he said, but my students' humor don't swing towards pedo stuff. They have standards. Sophomoric, yes, they are in high school, yet I'm afraid that they will end up like what I have focused on today, taking cues from the wrong people.
But a white man told me to do it.
Wait a minute, what white man? What did he look like?
White? I just assumed he was in charge.
Why?
'Cause he was white.
Some of these students are hostile towards girls and women or have relegated them to traditional gender roles even though they haven't experienced the one husband dad's income pays for everything while the wife mom stays home life for themselves. I've told a few of my male students that while they are attracted to females, they don't actually like them. Their hearts, souls, minds, thoughts, their feelings, and experiences. Girls and women are playthings to them, objects to be displayed in front of other males. And don't even get me started about all the homoerotic comedy I hear day to day from teenagers who are also anti-trans and homophobic. How does that work? Gay and trans people that I know don't think about or speak on us straights very often at all. My students might be watching right now, and what did I do? Encourage them to watch these women dance. I'm not helping. I wasn't always this introspective person that I am now, and I still have a long ways to go to be more equitable and inclusive and bring about a sense of belonging. I don't have any solutions for the problems that I've presented other than being an example to tweens and teens and young men. Perhaps not even a great one. And apparently, minding one's own business is impossible when you're a man against gayness yet interested and curious. But in 10 years' time, Bad Bunny went from grocery store bagger to performing at the Super Bowl. So we're going to be all right.